First tonight, the terrible weather. Where else are we going to start? And chaos on the northwest motorways for hundreds, perhaps thousands of travellers in the blizzards and sub-zero temperatures of the so-called beast from the east. Some were stranded in their vehicles for hours.
As if that wasn't bad enough, then it was the arrival of Storm Emma with strong winds up to 80 miles an hour. Tonight, we're live from one of our busiest motorways and from one of the snowiest parts of our region. First, though, our correspondent Rob Smith has this report.
Only those with blue lights went anywhere on section after section of the northwest major roads.
I'm currently sat on the M62. I've been sat here now for around about 3 hours.
Hundreds got stuck amid the beast from the east. For a time, police told others to avoid motorways. A 16-vehicle smash injured 20 people on the M66 near Bury. No one was seriously hurt. Motoring groups warn drivers must be ready to go nowhere by having fuel to run their car's heating.
It is well worth keeping your engine running. You can do it periodically, so you could keep it running for 20 minutes, warm up the car, turn it off, and then when it gets cold again, start it up again. But certainly, people potentially can die in this weather, in these temperatures.
Ploughs and gritters are now working 24/7 to keep open as many roads as possible.
We're going to start laying some salt now. We're laying we're 6 metres wide.
The Northwest local councils spreading hundreds of tons of salt at a time.
Last night was particularly bad, strong winds which are causing snow to drift over in exposed areas, combined with very low surface temperatures, and it's just difficult to shift the snow when it gets like that.
Nature wouldn't stop shifting it in East Lancashire, forcing some to abandon cars. In Saddleworth, others never even left home.
The roads are closing left, right and centre. There's hardly any traffic going past. It's really dangerous. It's not just a case of it's quite bad. It's, you can see how dangerous it is to try and get your car out.
The snow's depth wasn't a problem for everyone. From buried snow angels in Darwin to saving money on alpine practice in Rosendale. Without four wheels, you could really move. Rob Smith, ITV News.
Yeah, lovely to see things to make us smile. Well done to everyone who's working so hard to keep the Northwest going through all of this weather at the moment. Our reporter Sarah Rogers is near Birch Services on the M62 for us tonight. Sarah, how's it looking there tonight?
Oh, well, Lucy, forget the snow and the traffic at the moment. It's been just so windy up here because of that storm that you mentioned earlier. Now, yes, we are at Birch Services, which is on the M62, which is normally a really busy stretch of motorway. We're between junction 18 and 19. And if we take a quick look, you might think, well, that doesn't look that bad at all, but actually, if you notice, the eastbound carriageway has been completely closed, and that's been closed for most of the day between junction 21 and 22. Now, the reason for that, because some cars got stuck in the snow earlier today. The Highways Agency, who are often, issuing the advice and looking out for us, they went and sent a rescue vehicle, which then set on fire. Luckily, nobody was injured there, but it has meant that it's been closed for most of the day. And we met a chap just along this road a little bit earlier who was a trucker, and he was trying to get back to Hull, and in the end he's just completely given up and he's gone to go for a sleep in the services and maybe try again tomorrow. I can just see in the distance actually some police cars going the other way, but the Highways Agency have tweeted, and what they've said is that the final vehicles that were stuck within that closure at junction 21 Milne Road near Rochdale and 22 are being released. That road remains closed, with gritters retreating the road between junction 21 and 24, so that's all the way back up to Huddersfield. They say, please drive with care. And of course, that's the important message, isn't it? Police and other agencies are saying don't drive at all unless you have to, but a lot of people are still travelling home from work. They need to make those journeys, so just drive slower, drive safer, leave a gap between people, and obviously the most important and obvious one, just check your route before you travel as well, Lucy.
Sarah, thanks very much for that. Yeah, and also make sure that you have got water and maybe some food with you just in case you do get stuck.
Yeah, and some blankets perhaps, or some warm clothing in the car. OK, let's go live now to our reporter Ralph BLUNSOM, who is in the Ribble Valley. Seen some very heavy snowfall today, Ralph. What are conditions like there tonight?
Yes, I'm standing by the side of the A59 road just outside the village of Chatburn in the Ribble Valley. It is perishingly cold tonight and the wind is picking up, quite dangerous tonight. The A59 is one of the main roads that takes traffic between Lancashire and Yorkshire, stretches from Preston to York. It is one of 45 priority routes that those gritters you saw in Rob Smith's report are working 24 hours a day to ensure remain open. The problem tonight is this dangerously strong, bitterly cold easterly wind, which is blowing the snow from the neighbouring fields, drifting, causing them to drift across the main roads. Now, that's bad enough for the carriageway there. It's even worse on some of the side roads. The road behind me takes traffic into the village of Chatburn. The snow has been blowing across for the last few hours. This road behind me is now virtually undrivable unless you're in a four-wheel drive vehicle. That wind is causing further problems. It is freezing the ground. Now, Lancashire County Council have 15 remote weather stations. They give them a whole host of information that's passed on to their highways people. Tonight, I am told, a couple of those remote weather stations have recorded ground temperatures of -9 Celsius. That is exceptionally cold for this time of year. It means the surfaces on the road are becoming icy. That means driving conditions will be treacherous tonight and terrible in the morning. Welcome to spring in Lancashire.
Ralph, thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's not looking much like March out there tonight. But of course, the people who are feeling the cold the most are without doubt the people who are living on the streets. Last night, the Manchester-based charity Centrepoint helped more than 100 people find somewhere to stay, but they are desperate to find more places.
Now, the Pankhurst Centre, where the suffragette movement started, has been quick to respond and has agreed to house some homeless people tonight and tomorrow. Centrepoint is calling on hotels and bed and breakfasts and other organisations to try and do the same.
Yeah, well done to the Pankhurst Centre, leading the way once again as
indeed.
it did all those years ago. Well, of course, we will have a full forecast for you later in the programme with Kerry. But Kerry, we've had the beast from the east, we've got Storm Emma. Everything seems to be being thrown at us at the moment.
Well, that's pretty much what we've got, guys. We've got that exactly that coming from the east and coming from the south, and we're pretty much in the northwest sandwiched in between those two systems. So looking ahead, anyone worried about Storm Emma, it has been developing from the southwest during the course of today, and we already have a red warning out for the southwest of England, which basically means risk to life. That does not affect us, that warning, but as you can see, it has already brought some snow to the likes of Chester over the last few hours. So south of Manchester and Southport, there's the risk of some snow showers over the next few hours. But as you can see, that snapshot pretty much shows us that over the Pennines, we've got that easterly, it's drifting the snow, and then to the south, we've got the risk of the sort of northern tip of Emma, if you like. But for most of us, we're stuck in the middle, which just means bitterly cold. It's the temperatures and the winds we've already been talking about over the last few minutes or so, and it's the biting winds, 50-mile-an-hour winds at the coast at Blackpool this afternoon, and this overnight last night, it was -5 Celsius overnight, and it didn't feel much higher than that today. So it's that penetrating cold that's coming in from the east, and that will continue to do so overnight tonight and through into tomorrow.
Yeah, Ralph talked about it being -9 where he was in Chatburn. I mean, what's more to come, Kerry? Is there more to come?
Well, overnight tonight and through into tomorrow, we're hoping that the showers will ease certainly across the bulk of the northwest, but we've still got an amber weather warning that's just clipped in sort of Burnley and Rochdale, and so we still could see that drifting right over the Pennines that we've had today, that swirling of the dry snow, and it is an amber warning until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So there's the risk of that, and also the risk of those snow showers pushing into the south. But tomorrow, and I do think into the weekend, the winds will become lighter, and it won't feel quite as cold as we head into the weekend as it has done today.
And you've even had to abandon your own car.
I did abandon my car, yeah. It's on a very, very steep hill and some icy roads. So, I mean, today, 1st of March, it could actually be the coldest day in March since 1942, and I'll have more on that tomorrow.
Wow.
Kerry, thanks ever so much for that. You take care out there. Plenty more on the winter weather on our website, including details of school closures, loads of those at the moment. You'll find that at itv.com/Granada.
Yeah, and you can get more updates and in-depth information about the freezing weather in a special edition of Tonight. Snowstorm, Britain's Big Chill. It's at 7:30. Sounds like a film, doesn't it? That's this evening on ITV.